we need, in the sense of who we are, what we are, how we became what we are, what tissues we are made of, where we came from. And anybody has come up with history to tell us where we came from. And that suggests to us that none of them has been the truth, and none of them proves to be true. And we are looking for truth. Now, how do we look for truth if we still hold on to lies? How do we progress by still, encouraging and giving excuses, or protecting the lie, or protecting things that we've realized are not as intelligible as we thought they were? What good can it be? It's only, as I said, those who are in power, those who think they are so smart, and those who think that commotion might take place, demonstration, things will happen, people will sort of go crazy, and so they have to protect whatever they are protecting. What are you protecting? You are protecting something which we've realized that it is evil. It is not as holy, as righteous as we thought. But that time we sort of adored it, we sort of worshipped it, we sort of idolize it. But now we know that it is not what we are supposed to idolize, and that we keep protecting and holding on does not deserve to be protected and hold on to. Why should we not, repent from that and move towards a better life, or move towards what have we got to lose? I mean, if you are to catch a thief right now, somebody who's been stealing for something, you don't have a clue, and then you realize that, oh, there he is. This is my enemy. This is the problem. This is the issue. Why can't you just admit to that? Put it out there, Let it be plainly known that, hey, this wasn't it. And quickly make the changes, or quickly start moving towards the correct and the progressive thing that you really want to hold on to, or you want to grab in your life. I think that is a good thing rather than what we have been thinking. So, from what I see, from what I've just quoted, God is omniscient and omnipotent. Now, the entire topic is to bring a peace that we need in our life. Peace is a very special, very unique thing that we need. It's a word that we use in English sense, from what I've learned, that gives us a sense of sound, if I use another word, a sound, and calmness, and sort of happy and acceptable kind of state of mind, or state of personality. We sort of, if you are in a peaceful mood, you sort of embrace yourself and accept yourself. And sometimes people believe that they can get that in being in a religious church or wherever they choose. Some people choose that they are in a club enjoying themselves. They have the sense of peace. It depends on what that person has in tune himself to. He sort of embrace. But most of the time, people choose this kind of religious sect to be a place which they have peace. But I want to prove that peace can be in different shapes, in different formats, and you may have peace wherever you choose to. But there are some times that you might be thinking you have peace in a certain place, and probably you don't have peace there. You see, if anything get hold of you, and you comply. As long as you are complying, you have your peace. This is the world that we live in. This is the reality. This is the fact that we should be able to accept. So it doesn't matter what religion or what God you believe in. As long as, even if you're a paganist or whatever you are, you worship idols and what, they all have rules and laws that you abide. If you do not abide on those things, you don't have your peace. So in your own set of life, your moral, it could be somebody religious or non-religious. If you have some set of belief and you give yourself to some practice and you comply, as long as you comply, you go well with you. I mean, the body is even in a state where if the body is allergic to something, it is allergic to whatever it is it's allergic to. But if you've trained your body in the sense that it accepts certain things, it will accept those things. And if you move out of that range of which you've trained your body to accept, you sort of have problems. So as long as you want to have your peace, body-wise, spiritual-wise, whatever, wise, mentally, whatever, you have to hold on to those rules, the rules that you've set yourself into. It being part of a Christian group or being part of an Islamic group, you have to follow the rules. Then you have your peace. So the sense of peace that people might be getting in being in a mosque or being in a church hall or being in a monastery of whatever type, or being before a pagan house or wherever it is because as long as they are complying with the rules, they will experience that peace. And that's what they are experiencing something that makes them think that, oh, this moment is great. And it's just for a moment. When they go out, they get back to their old ways, which they know they are not following whatever rule that they so-called embrace, which I myself, I know. But this thing, since I've really shifted from that sector, I don't seem to be bothered about it, even though I'm still troubled by it, because you see, whatever it is that you have become, that you've been fed with, you can't just overnight throw it away. You can't overnight just dump it, even though I've been dumping so many rubbish that I need to dump from my head or from my life, which I keep dumping unnecessary things out of my life, and I wish others do so too. But the thing is, you can just dump it all. It's like eating food and putting it in your stomach. You might vomit, but how many are you going to, excuse me to say, how many? Are you sure you can vomit all out? Definitely some might come and some might stay in the body. Some probably will end up being digested into the body, which you can't do anything about. So I may speak, it may sound from the Christian background, but still, I will do my best to balance my speech. I'll do my best to be fair in everything. I'm not going to stick to Muslim or stick to Christian or stick to Buddhism or stick to anything. I stick to nothing. I stick to myself, and I'll make sure I stick to myself, because that's what I believe people must do, sticking to themselves. And knowing that when you know the human that you are and you understand the human that you are, you then see how you owe it to yourself to sort of comport yourself. You sort of respect your other fellow, your other neighbor, no matter what the person might be. It's not in the sense of the age or the sort of who the person might be. But at the end of the day, that's just the human respect, the human recognition. Just as you respect yourself, you do the same towards the other fellow. And it's a very good approach, a very good mood, a very good tactical thing to do, which somehow is naturally developing yourself into some self-controlled attitude towards each other. There are people who have had a set of norms which mostly has come from this religious, as I said, and some are personal to their own. They made it up for themselves, which are good and sometimes are not so unnecessary. There are certain things that in society we've accepted that are not good because people violently or people abused it, or people, keep using that, taking things onto their own, took advantage of those things, and somehow a group of people might realize that how we have to define a way to stop these things. We have to come up with some definition of some law or something to sort of stop these things. And sometimes some of the things might lead to death, harm other people. It might bring discomfort to other people, and it doesn't matter. Even if being rape can be a very terrible thing. Sometimes people also, use it and say they're raped, and probably they are not. But as I said, if we have a clear understanding what life is about, all these minor things, all these trivial issues can be considered. I mean, individually, the people will develop the understanding and realize that. So all these things we were doing, it was just what we've been fed with, the information we had that made us think the way we were thinking, that made us The little thing worry us. You get worried by